everyone to my channel. In today's video, I am going to be talking about tuning in to your intuition. So, as some of you may have heard, those of you that follow me on social media, I made a huge call in the last week and I decided to leave the place that I've called home for about a decade. And we'll be heading to Texas. So I'm gonna have my hat and my boots and it's gonna be so much fun and I'm so excited. And really the biggest thing that leads me to Texas is intuition. And I'm gonna talk more about what that means and how I came to a place where I started listening into my intuition. So if this sounds interesting to you, follow me over to the other side. Welcome back everyone, Luz Gonzalez here. I am your peak performance, purpose, and leadership coach. I work with you to help you find your purpose, to realize your full potential, and to raise the bar so you can live your best life. Live a life where you feel like your soul is on fire. Today we are going to be talking about me moving to Texas. I should have worn a hat during this one and my boots. So yes, I am moving to Austin, Texas. So if you are in Austin, Texas, drop a comment below. Let me know where I should go, the best neighborhoods, things to do. I'm a runner. Just say hello. I am so excited. Now, for a lot of my friends, family, people I know, people who have been following this channel for a while, some of you are gonna be like, whoa, what happened? You love Berkeley. It's like the best city in the world. Well, they do call Austin the Berkeley of Texas. And also, yeah, I know. I'm saying goodbye to this place that I absolutely adore with my entire heart and being. Why am I doing that? A lot of it has to be explained. The best way to explain it is through, it's an intuitive call. It's like when what you call a gut feeling. It's a feeling of, this has been a wonderful period, a wonderful space for incubation. And it also makes me think of when you are living a life where you are prioritizing your growth, you have to embrace uncertainty. And we don't want to just, crazily or not intelligently embrace, let's just jump off a bridge together. That's not what we're talking about here. What I am talking about, and you've heard me say over and over again, it's I want you to think of the big picture. I want you to envision who you are right now, who you are committing to showing up as on a daily basis, and also who you are deciding to become in the next decade of your life. Now, I've been deciding this for years, and so I have a very clear definition of what my North Star is. I know exactly where I'm trying to go. And because I've done years and years of work and research, and I've studied other people who have similar results and outcomes, when I make a decision like this, even though it just happened, last 4 days or something, it's not off of nothing. It's not let's just do something dumb, but it is your intuition, right? It is so there was a quote that was shared that I think is absolutely true and powerful and beautiful. And it said, both fear and faith are choosing to believe in something that doesn't exist. So my question to you is, which one are you gonna go with? Are you going to choose to believe in something that doesn't exist that leads to fear? Or are you living your life in such a way that you're choosing to believe in something that doesn't exist, that leads to a brighter future, a better version of yourself? Because at the end of the day, they're kind of the same thing. Fear and faith are the same thing. And to live the life that I encourage you to live, one where you are in tune and authentic to who you are in your calling, and you really bring all of yourself to this world, we've got to embrace this path of faith and uncertainty, and growth equals embracing uncertainty. And that also connects to us listening in to our intuition. And so this didn't come out of the blue. I've been feeling, you know, when you just got this inner feeling of like, something's gotta change, something's gotta move. Maybe you felt it in your work situation. I know that, like, I felt it. I was in my previous job, last time that I had a job, I was feeling that feeling of like, something's gotta change, something's gotta move. And I just either wasn't seeing the path or I was not being courageous enough to make the move myself. And sometimes, so it's grown to be my belief that when I believe that the universe is really trying to support all of life. And it's trying to support the best, the highest good for you and for everyone here. And for us to realize that expression of our highest good, we've got to be willing to take a risk. We've got to be willing to be uncertain, right? With my coaching clients, we have this technique where I tell them, hey, we've done the work, we've done the strategizing, we've done the research, you've decided where you're going, and you are making these bold, scary calls and decisions. And yes, there's going to be tension there. Yes, it's gonna feel uncomfortable. Growth is not gonna feel like the same old, because you're changing, you're growing. You're growing pains. You're going to feel the tension, you're gonna feel the discomfort. But what I tell my clients is, when you feel that, rather than being like, oh shit, I want you to jump up and celebrate and be like, that's right, I'm growing. And so, to live this kind of life, where you are really being authentic to your full power, where you are taking agency over your life and deciding to bring your gifts to this world, doing it strategically, intelligently, where not only are you making a living, I would expect you to want to become the best in the world and apply and execute on the strategies that will get you there. So we're not just like, we're just gonna close your eyes and it'll appear. No. And there is something to be said about doing the work, knowing who you're becoming, and when you have the feeling, and so you guys can't see me, but I'm kind of like rubbing my belly a little bit like Buddha. For me, that's where the feeling, that's where I feel it. And this might be the same for you. Maybe when you met your spouse for the first time, you felt a feeling and you guys were in deep conversation and you just thought, oh, this is the one. And I know friends who have shared that story, right? Where you were sitting across from each other and either one or both just knew it was like, yeah, this is it. And I can't explain these things, right? Back to the job example, I know that for me, part of the reason that I'm doing the work that I'm doing, it's been that like when I was in the legal world, and nothing against lawyers. I love lawyers. They're doing great work. We work with lawyers. It's not a fit for me. And you need to listen to what's a fit for you. And I know that sitting behind a desk writing legal memos, it's just not where I shine. It's just not it wasn't my calling, right? And everything inside me while I was doing that, like even in law school, it just felt like don't do it. This is not where you're supposed to be. And I didn't listen for about over 3 years. And then as soon as I listened to myself, right? This is why I do the work that I've done. Like, I've been there, guys. I've ignored the calling that was so loud from inside of me, and I was like, shh, no, you're supposed to do the safe thing. You're supposed to act just like society tells you. And inside, I'm convinced that that led to me getting sick, that that led to stress, that that led to me making, worse calls in my life. And so as soon as I said, you know what, I'm gonna be courageous and I'm gonna stand up and I'm gonna do this and I'm gonna take full ownership and responsibility of what comes with that, right? It felt this huge shift in energy, in momentum, in just a way of how I approach life and how I felt about myself, right? Knowing that I was doing the work to be able to show up in the world, being a full expression of my real self. And I think that so many of us, that's what we're after. And so with this move to Texas, I was starting to feel that. I was just like, is it like, am I staying in Berkeley? I adore Berkeley. Technology is here, not just here, but like the Bay Area, my family. All of these things are beautiful and amazing. And then here's another quote. I'm just like full of quotes. There's this quote that says, don't be afraid to leave the good because you could have the great, right? And the great, it goes back to this concept of faith and uncertainty and choosing growth, which means choosing uncertainty for you to potentially have this great. And so, yes, not only am I leaving behind great, good, I'm leaving behind extraordinary. I adore this place. And it's been a nice incubator. The reality is that, I've been in this place, specifically in this apartment, for years now. And it's been a great place for me to develop, for me to learn, for me to grow. And if I'm really honest with myself, I had been holding on a little too strongly for safety. And safety and the safe choice isn't going to lead to the sort of growth and development that could lead to incredible things in your life. And I'm betting on myself, I'm betting on Austin. There is no way. So, when we think about doing these sorts of things, we're like, oh, what are all the things that could go wrong? California is always gonna be here. The Bay Area is always gonna be here. I have literally nothing to lose, right? And so I'm super excited. And not only that, there's also the feeling, right? This is a video about tuning into your intuition. And so when I listened and when I was wondering, well, is it Berkeley? Is it New York? Is it DC? Am I going back to the Netherlands? Is it San Diego? Is it Silicon Beach? Is where? I was, just feeling like I had to go, but I didn't know where. And I've had that feeling in the past where I was like, I feel like I need to switch jobs, but I just don't know where. And this is where you've got to do the work, you've got to do the research, you've got to do the strategic work, and then you allow for intuition to play its part as well. Intuition, grace, faith, whatever you want to call it. And you listen and you take a chance on yourself. And if it feels right. So when I think of Austin, it just feels expansive. It feels bright. It feels good. I think I'm gonna find my husband in Austin. So, hey honey, it'll be so nice to meet you. I see a future for my kids. I see a future for my parents. It feels expansive and a space for growth. Also for my businesses, it's a good place for them to grow. And so I'm choosing to, rather than the fear of faith, I'm going with faith. And it sounds silly to some people, and am I assured? People ask me, oh, you're going for a job or something? No. People ask me, have you visited? Not since I was I can't remember the city at all. I mean, I've seen pictures and I've watched videos on YouTube. I don't remember, I was a little kid, I think the last time that I went. And people go, what? You're moving to a place? And it's yeah, I've gotten to know myself and I've gotten to trust my intuition and I've gotten to allow myself to connect with something that's bigger than myself, and then to tune in with that, to listen to that, and to feel it in my body. You really feel it in your body. So how can you do this in your own life? If you have a big question, something that's really important, or even a little one, what I would ask you to do is close your eyes and ask the question to yourself. And you're gonna feel something. It's gonna feel like a yes, and keep like pointing, you can't see it, belly. It's gonna feel internally like a yes, or you're gonna get this bad feeling. And there's a difference in terms of, is it a I'm saying no and I'm feeling the discomfort because of uncertainty, or does it feel like, no, this isn't right? When I thought of staying an attorney for the rest of my life, that was that feeling of like, no, you can't do that. And when I think of staying here and not going out and exploring, and not going out to see what the future holds and what Texas holds, what Austin specifically holds, it just, sometimes you get to a place where you can't not take courageous action. And so again, you feel it in your body. You've got to do the work. You've got to do the big picture question. But once you've done all of these things and they come together, you've got to take a chance. And you've got to say yes to growth, and to faith, and to grace, and to intuition, and trust that no matter what, it will be not just okay, it'll be grand. And so I fully expect moving to Austin, Texas to be an incredible, life-changing, life-expanding experience. I am so excited. I've started connecting with so many people in Texas already, so thank you so much for everyone who's going to be jumping on the phone and telling me about the neighborhoods and the weather and all the things, and the running routes and all that stuff. And I'm so excited for this next phase. And do I have all the answers? Not at all. Part of this channel, part of us being here together, is you get to be part of my journey. And I'm going to be bringing you on board, and when I get in the car, and it's going to be a road trip, you'll be there with me. And I'm going to keep you posted on how things develop. And I can't help but think that this is going to be incredible. And there's no way it can't be incredible. And so my question for you today is, how do you tune into your intuition? How do you listen to your intuition? And what calls have you made lately to be in integrity, to listen, to honor, that's the word, to honor the wisdom, the inner wisdom that comes from within. And so tell me in the comments below, go to my Facebook group, all that stuff, how you can get engaged with me is below. But let me know, how are you honoring the inner wisdom, the inner whispering of your heart that comes from within? Until next week, I will have a grand time packing the rest of my apartment, and I will catch you guys again soon. Make sure to subscribe.